Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to the G-Cast, welcome to the rodeo, all that. Yo, in the comment section, see, because I don't want to pull up and say, what's up, guys, and welcome to the... I like saying welcome to the rodeo, welcome to the G-Cast and all, but if y'all have a cooler intro that y'all can think of, that'd be great. Just post that shit in the comments, man. But today, I just wanted to talk about, really, like, being an entrepreneur, and being in the animation industry, and why I didn't really want to have an animation job. Not saying that I don't want to get into animation, like, that's the point of this channel, is to get into it. But, I never envisioned myself working for someone else, and I'm not really going to go logical into this at the start. I'm just going to keep it real. When I was 4 years old, I remember watching Superman the Animated Series, and I just remember him flying around the TV, and I mean, I just thought that was like the coolest thing. I still think Goku can beat him, but I just remember seeing him, fly around the TV, save the day, and just be a good person overall. And I don't know what exactly it was, but I really just wanted to make that again. Like Superman, I love Superman. He's not my favorite hero. He's not my favorite character. He's definitely, I wouldn't say top 10, but there's thousands of characters out there. He's top 20 in my opinion. But I mean, it wasn't really just because it was Superman or anything like that. I don't know what it was. It was just something clicked. It was like, this is what you're supposed to do. Like, this is what you're supposed to make. And, I mean, my whole life, even though it was like authority, and I don't really exactly have a problem with authority or chain of command. As long as they have their stuff together, I don't have a problem. Like, my past two jobs, I had two jobs here. One of them was at Waffle House, that lasted for 4 days, and one of them was at Jiffy Lube, that lasted for 3 weeks. And I didn't have a problem with authority. I had a problem with the people in authority because they were completely nuts, and I was not about to tolerate their horrible behavior. And so I told Waffle House to F off, and I'll tell them again, F off. And Jiffy Lube, I kind of walked out. But they knew it was like, no, you guys did me wrong, and this is why you're down to one employee, because the manager was, I'm not gonna go, it's in the past, I'm not gonna go into it. He was just not a good manager, and he was just not a good person, really. But yeah, I was not about to tolerate that, and I never all of my other jobs, I mean, they sucked in like one way or another, but they weren't too bad. It was just that, if my boss gets on my nerves, I'm not dealing with you at all, because I have no power. Like, you're the one paying me to do all this work, but I'm not gonna do this mental work trying to deal with you. And I never saw, as a kid, I mean, mentally, I never saw anybody it was like God, me, and then, I mean, everyone else was like equal. But, when you're a kid, it's your teachers, it's your parents, it's other adults, it's your friends. I mean, you might think it's just your older siblings, dude. It's your younger siblings too, because because your parents are over you. If you do anything to you, and this is for everybody, and I've seen it with everybody. Even some of my closest friends, it's like, you think you're the big bro, but the second you touch little bro, mom's gonna get on you. So the power dynamic is just crazy. You're always at the bottom, and I mean, that was what it was, but I never, that's not how I thought. I always just thought, I'm me, and no one's really above me. Not really anybody's below me, but I never saw, I never envisioned working in the animation industry and having somebody above me. And every time I did, it felt a little off. Like, it felt like I was forcing myself to think about having a job and improving that company instead of improving my own. Like I planned, at first to, like, because I love Nickelodeon, but Cartoon Network is like my first. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like it's kind of like if you played a sport, it's like, you know, you love football, but basketball was your first sport or something like that. Or, you love Madden, but 2K was your first. Something like that, where it's like you can love two things, but something you just love a little bit more because there's more connection. I wanted to work at Cartoon Network, and then I saw the lady in charge, and I'm and I'm like, when I mean work at Cartoon Network, I mean like be a showrunner, um, make my own shows, like not have to work under anybody else's shows unless I really wanted to. Which was another thing. I never saw myself doing things I didn't absolutely not want to do. It was like, if I want to work for Steven Universe, then I'll work for Steven Universe. If I want to work for Adventure Time, I'll work for Adventure Time. I won't work on some show just because someone else told me. And, I always saw, like, not really like a greedy power thing, but it was more of like a freedom thing, where I always saw myself being in control no matter where I was. And then, the more I learn about this world and the more I learn about the animation industry, it's like, it's not that. It's like, you're gonna do what they say, whether you like it or not. It's like, you're gonna work. You're gonna be this underpaid grunt worker. Like, you're better off working at Starbucks, to be honest. And You're gonna be not like, you're real. You're the real animator, but you're gonna be in betweening, and you're barely gonna get any credit. You'll. It's kind of like the end of the Avengers movies, where they do all this, like, these great visuals for the actors, and then they have, like, in big letters, like, the directors and all the sponsors and all that, and then it's just all the people who actually did all the work to make that movie, and their names are tiny, and you can't remember a single one of them. I can't remember a single person who worked on the Avengers, but I do remember Robert Downey Jr. Like, that's how it is. It's like, you're the one actually doing the work, but you get the least amount of credit and the least amount of pay. And obviously that's kind of the way the world works. It's like, I remember people ranting about, how comes Kanye makes billions of dollars, but firefighters don't. I mean, like, it is what it is. Like, if hard work paid off that much, coal miners would be, multi-billionaires. But that's not the only thing that comes with it. Like, hard work is a part of it, but it's not everything. You definitely want to work smarter than harder, but that's a topic for another day. Like, having my own show, being able to freely move my show. Like, if I wanted to move my show to Nickelodeon, I could. If I wanted to move it to Adult Swim, I could. If I wanted to move it to Disney, I could. I never, it was kind of like, I'm seeing my show as like a remote control, where it's like, if I want to watch SpongeBob, I'll watch SpongeBob. But let's say I own SpongeBob. If I want to move SpongeBob to Cartoon Network, I'm gonna move it, and ain't nobody gonna say anything. And that's how I always viewed it. Like, I'm. It's not that I'm in control. I'm free to do as I please. And um, having worked all the jobs I've worked, and going through the school system, and moving out here, I realized, like, I really don't want to be under somebody, because I have the least influence. Like, I have the least influence in other people's lives. I have the least influence in my life. And, I don't want something that I care about so much. I don't want to have the same feeling for that. Because I might fall out of love with it or something. And mean, I just don't want to be like under the thumb of, you know, like some studio that tells me, hey, you have to draw this and you have to draw that and you have to draw it this way, and then you have to work unpaid overtime, and you got to do all these things and, you know, run around in circles. Not saying that, you know, working for another studio is the worst thing ever, especially like being somebody who's wants to start their own studio. But I'm just saying, it's like, I don't want to, like, the stuff I'm dealing with now, you know, working these jobs. The job I have, like right now, I actually really like. But, you know, in the past, it's like, would I ever do, like, I couldn't do it for something I liked. Like, especially if I hadn't the talent. And especially if you're like, if you have somewhat of a social media following, it's like you can easily flip the script on everything. On everything. And the thing about you know, Gcast is, I mean, it's just so big, it's hard to explain. Like, I really want this to be a multi-billion-dollar, not just animation studio, but like subscription. Like, I want to have, you know, a streaming service. I want to have an app. I want to have a website. Um, you know, I kind of want to do what Donald Trump did, where he got an LLC and then put it in an escrow. Like, Waka Flocka explained it. Um, you can look that up. It's in a short, and, you know, basically, you know, how he avoided taxes, which I thought was pretty dope. You know, politics aside, that's something you probably want to learn how to do, and probably, you know, study. And if you don't like studying from him, Waka Flocka's got you. But you know, I really want this thing. Like, it's not just gonna be, you know, a studio where, you know, I make my own show. And another thing is, yeah, I want to make not only my own show, like a lot. I kind of want it to be like Netflix meets Ghibli, but it's as big as Disney and Netflix combined. Not only that, maybe an amusement park. I don't exactly know yet, but the main thing is like streaming service. You know, just pumping out movies, directing movies. You know, grabbing people, giving people a chance. You know, actually, you know, looking at, you know, what they've done and then giving them a chance. Is like, hey, can you handle $1 million budget? I mean, you can handle like a $200 budget, so you know, something like that, where you the whole thing is like what Disney said, where we're not making movies to make money, we're making money to make movies. And I really want to go deeper into this, because I don't think animation's talked about, especially on, and it's a shame on YouTube, because YouTube was pretty much built on original videos from regular people, like regular everyday people, like Fred, PewDiePie, Mark. They're just dudes. Like YouTube just started off with just a bunch of dudes. Like, people on Newgrounds, like, they're just a bunch of dudes who wanted to do something, and now they have a platform where they can just post it, and, you know, it is what it is. Like, and a part of the history is like animation, like, from, I can't remember all of them off the top of my head, and I'm also a little too young to remember them, because I don't even remember where I came in on that. But, you know, on early YouTube, where, you know, animation was like, holy crap, like, and now the algorithms, like how the algorithm is like, they don't want you to have a full finished animation anymore. It's like, it's probably best you have a full finished animation at the end of the month or something like that, or, you know, at the end of whatever time, and then and but in between that, like, you're showing like how you're like the behind the scenes stuff with the voice acting and the coloring, and, you know, the keyframes and the in betweens and all that. But yeah, definitely, I mean, the main reason why is because, you know, let me get my thoughts together. Yeah, the main reason why I don't want an animation job is because I want to be a leader. And I can, being a leader requires you to understand how it feels to be a follower. However, I don't want to follow any of these studios, at least the major ones. Like, what I want to do is, I want to build it up from the ground, be the best employer I can be the best leader I can be, but at the same time be the best businessman, and, you know, be like, set myself up to so that I can creatively express myself as I please. I mean, people say, oh, I want to be my own boss, I want to be the entrepreneur. Bro, I just don't want anybody to be in my way. And the only way to do that in this world now is to be the boss. So that's why I don't want to have an animation job. That's why I'm building an animation business. And a part of this channel will be helping you guys build your own animation business. And this is just the journey. So thank y'all for watching. And if you don't mind following, saving, sharing, liking, and commenting what y'all think. With that being said, I'm going to bed.